boy, oh boy, oh boy. Sit down, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to break down in today's update. Leviathan's finally here, but seems like things might be about 1 day behind schedule, and it looks like Conquest characters are now 3 times farmable for some of you guys out there. It's a great catch mechanic, but we got to talk about it's going to be a little divisive. First things first, you guys are probably wondering, where's my Leviathan? I know Reddit's kind of in a bit of a storm right now. Leviathan was just added in the most recent update that dropped the Galaxy Heroes moments ago. However, it says it's not going to be available for another 24 hours. So about 24 hours from the time of this, that's 2 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time, the Leviathan is going to be dropping. However, I do want to point out, I'm not going to burn them too much. For me, having an extra day, especially with the requirements now farmable, which we're going to go over, it gives maybe a few extra people a couple more moments to try to get a few more shards, because unlike Cal Kestis, this isn't like a week-long event. You only got like 1 day, then you got to wait another month. But in their road ahead, they did say it was supposed to be released July 19th, but to be fair, they said the expected release is July 19th. Now, it technically is released in-game July 19th. The event just hasn't turned on yet. So nonetheless, event's going to be tomorrow, but I do want to point out there are a lot of people that are a bit upset about this. I'm personally not. I'm always in the camp. More time is better to try to get maybe those last few people across the finish line, but I do understand some people kind of pushed hard. They were ready for it today, maybe spent an extra crystals and here and there, so I do acknowledge there are some people that are going to get a little burnt, but I think overall it's not that big of a deal. In regards to the farming requirements, they just finally released the TIE Dagger, the Mark 6 Interceptor, free-to-play farmable. Good news is they made one of them fairly accessible. I always kind of fear that they're going to be dropped on some sort of hard node, and that is the case. Do note Fury class Interceptor is pretty much the biggest pain point, so this event for the Leviathan is really a function of, do you have Fury class Interceptor and do you have Malgus, of course, to pilot it? That's the biggest barrier. But the other ones, these are the least of your concerns, especially if you farm them via Galactic Chase. You probably made a lot of headway on them. TIE Dagger is unfortunately on a hard node, so it's going to take a bit of time. But the cool thing is the Mark 6 Interceptor, which I think is going to be, I mean, we'll wait and see when we test it out. I think it's going to be more fundamental for this new Leviathan on a Cantina node. I know it's always a debate. For me, when I'm farming free to play, pay to play, whatever it might be, I'm always a bigger fan of Cantina nodes. I want to be done fast and move on with my life. That's just how I work, but that's great. That's great to see that. And one more thing regarding farming Leviathan, as we said, this is really just about having the Fury class Interceptor. You either have it or you don't. And as far as I can tell, there are no packs or anything like that right now to really expedite it. The good thing is you have some crystals that you can farm them out of. It's not like you're going to get that big of a buck out of it. Also inside of the Wandering Scavenger on top of that, but I have been seeing a lot of temptation out there in the community. There are some Malgus packs popping up just for the character. Remember, the character is not specifically required for Leviathan, but technically you need it at level 1, 7 stars to unlock the TIE Fury class Interceptor. Too many Interceptors. Can everyone stop being Interceptors for one moment? I'm just gonna say this: do what you gotta do. If you are gonna wail on a character, Darth Malgus is a bangerific character, and the good news is you're probably not farming from complete scratch. For most people, you probably picked some up through Conquest inside of the new Proving Grounds, and we're going to talk a bit more about that. So you probably don't do a full-on whale. I'm not in any position to tell you what to do with your money. As long as you can afford it, you can still pay your bills. It's just money that you can blink and you're not going to miss it. You know, do what you got to do. But I just want to put out there, at least spend your money prudently. There is a pack on the web store. I do want to point toward your direction. If you are going to whale, you are in the market for Malgus, they do have a pack for $23. It gives you, but it's more than what the Conquest exclusive bundle was in the game. For $39, you only got 30 shards and some pretty garbage stuff. At least here, for $23, you get 10 more shards, and at least you get something a bit more helpful with the relic upgrade. So just want to put it out there. Do what you got to do. I understand it's a really cool character, but man, for me, if I wasn't doing what I was doing, I would not spend money in these type of games. But that's just me. But here's the thing: if you're spending money, you're keeping the lights on the game. Just think about it. So that's one way of looking at it. And then we are going to talk more about Conquest here in a moment. Let's go take a look at the update notes first. So the update notes, aside from Leviathan finally being added inside of Galaxy Heroes, we're going to talk about this additional day of Proving Grounds for Conquest Pass Plus holders in a second here. Man, it's a big deal. It was kind of awkward. They randomly added it as like a bonus note to the July 12th update, which is a little bit weird. But the other things that are interesting, we already went over. Cantina Battle 5F, who marks the Interceptor, big thumbs up there. They also replaced Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca, moved him to Cantina 5E alongside Veteran Smuggler Han Solo well. So if you're pushing for Galactic Legends Raid, this is going to be helpful. On a singular node, we also talk about the TIE Dagger being put on light side 9D hard, which puts Phantom 2 alongside Sabine Wren. So again, thumbs up there again, making the farming process efficient for the crew. And then now we're starting to see the double drop farmable. For all my HUT cartel members out there pushing for Jabba the Hutt, kind of a big deal. Everyone's kind of on the same page. Jabba's the way to go right now. And then on top of that, Captain Rex is finally available in Chromium packs. And apparently Princess Nisa, she's probably going to be even better than what we originally saw. Her unique ability apparently was not working 100%. Any ability used by the enemy team will give Nisa Retribution Terminator and Recover Health Rewalk. I guess it wasn't working. So whatever I said the other day, it seems like it's going to be a little bit better. And we have a grand arena that we're probably going to do a little bit before the Leviathan event happens. We're going to get our first week and see how is the Captain Rex in 5v5. How is Princess Nisa? With all that out of the way, let's talk about Conquest. I had my first free-to-play experience on the free-to-play account. Going through Proving Grounds, I can't do it on my main account because I usually already have them at 7 stars. I'm always maxing out Conquest, so I haven't been able to do it unless there's a bug. Generally, you only get 20 shards of a particular Conquest unit every single month. You go through to all of them. You go through the Maul, Caratano Malgus, Interceptor, all in one setting, which is nice. It's not like you only have one attempt. It's not like the one bounty hunting event where you only can really pick one tier. You can do all the tiers. So you're getting 20 shards of everything every single month once you hit the 4 million GP threshold. So to give you some context, what the math looks like here, but let's say you're starting off in bare bone scratches. This is more or less what my free-to-play account's going through. If you're going to do the free-to-play way, generally every single month when you're getting 20, at minimum, it's taking you about 16 and a half months. Now, some people like to spend the Christians to maybe get an extra refresh. It's over a year to get these guys unlocked. Now, the good thing is you're going to be unlocking multiple ones because, again, you're doing multiple tiers at a single sitting. But now they did something interesting. So they've been pushing out this survey asking people what would get you to buy the Conquest Pass Plus. Now, I've never, ever bought the Conquest Pass Plus. I've said many times, I don't think there's a value there when you just relate it to Conquest. You get a couple of stim packs. For me, I don't really care about the stamina regeneration, the Conquest energy regeneration, but they've been making things interesting where now they're trying to give you extra feat completions if you buy the Conquest Pass Plus, but it's an extra $20 on top of the $10 pass. The $10 pass, as I've said, it's one of the better values in the game, assuming you can make good progress on it. And even with their changes, even if you can't make good progress, they put most of the rewards on the front end of things. The Conquest Pass, the basic one, the $10 has value. I just haven't seen the upgrade to be worth its weight. But now, not going to make sense for my main account, but for those that already spend $10 on Conquest, boy, an extra $20 is going to take you a long way. The value there is tremendous. It just sucks because I have been asking for a way to make Conquest characters that are quote-unquote legacy, so like over 2 years old, so like Maul, Commander Tano, a little bit faster. My proposition was, how about we just double the shard count for older characters? So Maul, Commander Tano are first-gen Conquest characters. They're 40 shards per attempt, and that would really help as I'm making my way and unlocking all these guys. It's a good feeling. Well, CG didn't quite have that idea in mind when it comes to expediting these character farms in here. Instead, if you buy that Conquest Pass Plus, as we saw on the update notes, for an extra $20 to $30 per Conquest, mind you, it's not like for the whole month, per Conquest, you're gonna get yourself an extra, like just a whole day. It's like an exclusive VIP day. It's like, hey, you got the Conquest Pass, cool. You're gonna get just a day exclusively to you. You get another round of Proving Grounds. As you can see, Proving Grounds, Conquest Trials Pass. Let's do some math here. Yikes, man. So you already saw 16 and a half months normally. So if you're getting an extra day of Proving Grounds, basically through when you're unlocking a character the first round, there's usually 3 conquests, right? So if you're buying the Conquest Pass Plus 3 times, that's $90. But the thing is, you're gonna get extra 20 shards of all these characters 3 times for each conquest going around. So that, let's just say, you know, it's a bit odd. Conquest usually starts every 3 weeks, so 2 weeks on, 1 week off. So sometimes the math works out. There's 2 conquests in a particular month. So in a particular month, you can get yourself, for example, 60 shards. 1 for free when it just comes naturally. 3 more times with the Conquest Pass Plus, easily looking at 3 times faster at the minimum. Now we kind of up the math. Some months it's only gonna be 60, some months it's gonna be 80. So there's gonna be a bit of a variance depending on how the calendar lays out. But being able to farm these things 3 times faster instead of waiting a year and a half, you're waiting 4, 5, 6 months or something like that. That's kind of a big deal. Games like this is time is a big asset. The sooner you get stuff, the more you can enjoy them while they're still atop of the meta. Very useful. So kind of like the Malgus thing. I want to put out there first. Technically, there is tremendous value with that Conquest Pass Plus, but man, I think they're really creating an interesting tool to try to get people that don't spend money to kind of start being like a season pass membership holder to get these Conquest characters a lot faster. So the value is definitely there. I don't think it really applies to me on my main account. I still don't see the value in it, but if you're someone that's like my free-to-play account and you want to buy Conquest passes for the next couple 5-6 months and you're starting from scratch just to get them all done, it's gonna be quite a few bucks to get up there if you're spending $30 per cycle. But nonetheless, being able to get these guys so much faster, you can't ignore the fact that's got value there. But again, it's gonna come down to, do you want to spend the money? This game is all about, just take the game as it comes. Don't worry about rushing. The game is all about a marathon, as I tell people. If you take the game at your own pace, you don't worry about always being on top of the meta. This game can be tremendously fun. And even for new players coming, don't look at what I'm doing on a main account like I'm getting Leviathan and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta get it. Just take the game at your own pace. That's my personal recommendation. But again, people spend money on this game. I'm just telling you, I think there is good value if indeed it happens every single conquest. If indeed you're getting 20 shards every single attempt, being able to get these big name characters like Malgus, Commander Ahsoka Tano, so much faster than before is something I just, boy, it makes me mad. It does make me mad that there's not a more free-to-play way of expediting these character farms a little bit more. I'll pass the ball over to you guys. It's definitely going to be a little bit divisive of a topic. Do you guys think it's worth it? I think it's going to depend where you are in the game, but man, I'm curious to see what you guys think. Am I out of line? I think I'm kind of a little bit both. I'm mad, but there's value in it, so you take it as you will. Anyways, I'm done talking. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow for sure, we're going to be testing out the Leviathan. Leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing, and always remember, until we meet again, that it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.